Okay, certificates of appropriateness. Would you like to do the honors?
Not here, shall I do it? Sure. Right. I will move that council follow the recommendation of the Historic Architectural...
To see if there need to be discussed first.
Oh, we do that?
First.
All right. Any to be discussed?
Yes, I have two. Actual register abstentions are on COA 2010-030H, application of Jerry Schenkman, and COA 2010-031H, applicant Sheena Bediaco. And reason on the record being those are tenants in my building.
And can we discuss one after we make the motion?
Well,
Or
if we,
should we pull it?
probably, if you want to discuss a particular one, we usually pull it out and make the motion separately and then have a
Okay.
discussion on that one.
033H, I just had a question for
Okay.
Jim on.
I was going to take that one as well. Okay. So shall we, do you want to do 030 and 031 as one motion so that Mike can abstain from that one, and then we can do 34, or 32 and 34 as one, and then do 33 as one?
Now, 32 is the same applicant as 33.
But
Do you
they're
want
for
to-
different COAs.
So just do them
Yeah, I would do them
separately?
separate,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see 29.
Right,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
29. All right, so 29, so if we do 30 and 31 together, we can do 29, 32, and 34 together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will move that council follow the recommendation of the Historic Architectural Review Board and direct the President of Council to sign the following certificates of appropriateness, thereby approving the historical appropriateness of the application with final approval by the Code Enforcement Officer, being COA 2010-029H, Robert and Edith Celeste, 125 North Lincoln Avenue, COA 2010-032H, Keith Coleman, 201 South State Street, Hamilton Building Supply, and COA 2010-034H, Global Home Improvement, Inc., 207 Penn Street, McCafferty Residence.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Not? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Similarly, I will move that council follow the recommendation of the Historic Architectural Review Board and direct the President of Council to sign the following certificates of appropriateness, thereby approving the historical appropriateness of the application with final approval by the Code Enforcement Officer, COA 2010-030H, Jerry Schenkman, 234 South State Street Law Office, and COA 2010-031H, Sheena A. Bediaco, also 234 South State Street Law Office.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries
Abstention on that.
with one abstention. Okay.
And shall I make the motion with respect to 033, and then we'll have the
Yeah,
discussion?
and then we'll second it, and then we'll have a
Okay,
discussion.
and similarly, I'll make the motion that council follow the recommendation of the Historic Architectural Review Board and direct the President of Council to sign the following certificate of appropriateness, thereby approving the historical appropriateness of the application with final approval by the Code Enforcement Officer, COA 2010-033H, Keith Holman, 201 South State Street, Hamilton Building Supply.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I think I had a question for Jim about the windows. Tried to follow through the minutes in the application about, I know there was a discussion about those windows and the replacement of them before, and I know that there was some significant discussion at the meeting, and I just wanted to know if Harb was satisfied with the way it was resolved.
Well, the full HARB members weren't there, but the ones who were there thought that it was the best option for what the applicant wants to do. There was a lot of discussion. Our preservation consultant was very clear that she did not think that it met the standards, but it's only her recommendation. We had a lot of discussion over 2 meetings about this issue, and did a lot of survey work, figuring out what the windows are like there, some historic research, and it came down to the option that presented the least amount of new frame visibility in the window openings, and that was the one that we thought was the best compromise for what was happening there.
So, Jim, was the issue that the windows needed to be replaced and the way they had been installed before was not possible to repair or replicate? Is that the issue that you were grappling with?
Yes, the windows that are in there are probably original to the building, so they're 100 years old or so. It's a very primitive, early storefront system that's in there. It's like a pressed metal assembly. It's a single glazing, and the glass is starting to slide down into the frames and come loose in some areas. And when I actually did the survey for the building, and there are many places where you can actually touch the glass, and with just a slight push, the whole window waves and gives. So there's some safety issues there. I know the building owner has some insurance issues that he brought up, which we weren't aware of initially. And this just presented an opportunity for him to upgrade the windows into new, stronger, modernized windows.
And what is the standard that it didn't meet?
The two standards were, I think they were number 9 and 10, where you're replacing existing items with new items. And the concerns that she had were the first one was that the option that was going to be recommended was to take out all the old windows and put in new windows, and it's all kind of conjecture. Like there was no proof stated that what's there now was original to the building, and do the new windows replicate the old ones? And so there were kind of questions like that brought up, and just the fact that we were removing these old ones, completely taking them out, and were they original? Were they put in a while ago? Was the mullion pattern the same? Because those windows are enormous, and it's very difficult to get single pieces of glass to fit those openings nowadays without some serious cost issues. And the new ones are 2 units, so there'd be a single mullion down the middle of the openings. And that was another question about, well, were all the originals windows a single glass or double? Clearly the mullions that are there now were put in at some point over time. We didn't know when. So these are like general preservation questions that Mary Lou is very good at asking and thinking about. It's just the nature of how she looks at projects like this.
So Harb's recommendation was to go with option A, which was the least different from what was there before.
Yes.
Any other questions? Any other discussion? No? Okay. If not, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.